Wholeness and 0 point love. You already know it's that guy that's gonna give gnosis to omni spaces. And we forward again. It's time to talk about, you know, my great awakening. Somebody requested it on my last video, just so she can better, understand where I came from, how it happened, and how I'm doing right now. So let's get into it. Pretty much, ever since I was young, I always looked at life a little bit differently. Um, if we're going to the present day, I think it's because that in a traditional sense, I never been able to, you know, feel emotions in a sense because like I think my right hemisphere is not actually connected to my left hemisphere. So yes, I do have a mental illness, and I believe that mental illness is actually prevalent in all communities. So, but instead of seeing like getting down on myself for too long, like when I figured it out, I was like, wow, it's kind of messed up because I was born with this. Like I always never really been able to feel emotions and stuff like that. I always felt like the odd man out and stuff like that because I couldn't flow with the group. But as I'm seeing now, that was a gift and never a curse, you know what I'm saying? Because it made me able to look straight ahead, look straight forward, look straight upward without being pulled to one side or the other from, emotions and feelings and stuff that are great. They're really great. But if if you have a goal and a mission, you have to go towards that. You can't be stopping here and stopping there and looking at stuff and feeling things that's gonna make you unbalanced. So in a sense, that's definitely a, a power for me. And I know other people have mental illness and it may not seem that prevalent, but definitely if you research long enough or even you're called to research some stuff, you'll find some things about you that no other people have going on with your mind. So yeah, I was always just so different. I always could never really flow with the group, flow with the crowd. I would be able to I'll be able to, be with a lot of people. Like I was one of those people they call the chameleon and stuff because I can be in every type of group. But there was never a group that felt right for me that I could just stay in and be with. So, I grew up with like two best friends, and neither of them I talk to now. So it's kind of a thing. We can't feel emotions and stuff like that. But I know it's not a curse. So yeah, and then I kept going through life, and I eventually stumbled upon one of those old DVDs that talk about how the government is fucked up and how there's secret things going on under everybody's nose and stuff like that. And so I checked that out as a young person, as a really youngin', and that really terrified me. That terrified me so much, to be honest. And then, I kind of never forgot about it. It was always in the back of my head because I was like, this world is really kind of fucked up. And so I, eventually got to high school, and I ain't gonna say that, to be honest, like I never had like mystical experiences when I was young. Like I always yearned for them because I felt like it would, yeah, what's up, man? I felt like it would really, validate the stuff I'd be thinking about and in the traditional sense, I can feel my own emotions and stuff like that, but they're really straightforward. Like they're not like, oh, I feel like this because I feel like the wind hit me in a certain way, so now I gotta, I'm getting depressed. The air is no, it was always straightforward. So like, I can figure out my own emotions, but others, that's where the issue came in. So yeah, so I'll always have a feeling that I was yearning for mystical experience. I grew up in church, and everyone would always have, I would see people catch the Holy Ghost and stuff and start, flipping out and running around the pews and stuff. And I never, got the urge. I never really understood why they did that and why they wanted to do that back then. Now I do. It's really because, like, just like how there's lots of spirits out here, there's definitely a spirit that has control over, the churches and everything. And it talks about this in the Bible even, because it says don't build stuff up in brick and mortar, don't build up physical places, but they still went and did that. So there's some spirit that's getting power from that. And every now and then, if people are susceptible enough and open enough, that spirit will, put them in hysteria, put them in being, crazy and stuff like that. So I never got that feeling because I was open to it. I thought I was, but I wasn't open to that. I wasn't open to that stuff. And so, I always was looking for a mystical experience, but I never got it until around high school, or maybe not even high school, but I would say around, high school, because that's when I started doing, drugs and stuff like that. And it was giving me the feelings I wanted. It was showing me a side of the world I wanted to see. And it definitely became a slippery slope, as quickly as those do. And so I ended up meeting, okay, I'm jumping around a little bit. So, the drugs and stuff were cool, and they got me to a point where I wanted to be, not in a mindset, but really in like feelings and stuff like that, emotions, and also seeing that I had abilities that kind of frightened me at the time, in the sense that, like, not in a sense, but whenever I would smoke marijuana around people, I could hear their thoughts. And I always would be like, what'd you say? And I would say exactly what they said. They're like, no, I didn't say that. And then eventually people would tell me that, bro, like, are you reading my mind, dude? Like, and it would freak me out because they were getting freaked out. And so every time I was around people on drugs, that's what pushed me off of marijuana at the beginning, because I realized that stuff. And I was like, damn, I don't want to be doing that. But it's ability that, I have. And so I had did more and more drugs, and it's not like I was going crazy with the drugs, but because I was still functioning in society in a sense. But eventually I did some stuff, and I met some people. I met two dudes that I thought were some good friends of mine, but actually one of them was a narcissist, and the other one was just another one of the people that narcissists have next to them, to their underlings and stuff like that. So I met them, and we started kicking in and stuff like that. And this is where all the metaphysical, all the spiritual stuff, all the extraordinary stuff started happening. And I realized that there's even another side of the world, another side of the planet, another side of this universe, another side of my life that I have not yet seen. And so when I was with them, all type of crazy stuff would happen. And it was mostly attuned to, him, because, I was amplifying it with my own energies, but it was him that was actually a gateway to it. But he was a gateway to a part that I didn't actually want to go in that time. I was just looking and roaming about. And then as the normal things that happen when you do that, you find what you're looking for, even if it's not what you're actually needing and wanting and deserving. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find what you're looking for. And so we would do crazy stuff, in the sense that, like, things would happen. We would see stuff, and it wouldn't be even on drugs. And then eventually we brought drugs into it, weed, other stuff, and that just kept thinning the veil, and it was pretty wild. And so I was seeing stuff I've never even conceived before, and I was like, what the freak, man? Then eventually we end up getting cut off I stopped messing with him because I already told this story, but it's kind of in a different perception now because I'm telling it in a sense that I'm talking about my awakening. But we got cut off, and you know, that was when I experienced another heartbreak because they were good friends of mine, I thought, and so that stuff happened, and that's kind of like when I went into the dark night of the soul and stuff like that, and that was the very beginning of my awakening because it always starts when you hit rock bottom, or if you just hit rock bottom and break down, and then go back up. But yeah, I hit rock bottom then, and I had to go back and live with my mother, and you know, time went on through there, and I kept on going left because I realized there was some shadows over there that I had to go see, I had to go through. And then eventually, after becoming a channel for Sophia, the goddess of wisdom, the mother of God, um, and renouncing everything and being filled with her, the real Holy Spirit, WHOLE, not H. All right, so I gotta finish the video right now. Sorry I got cut off earlier. I got a call, and then how the day goes. It just kept going. But yeah, we gotta finish this. So I renounced everything and was filled with the Holy Spirit. And Sophia, she took me on a journey, self-discovery, soul discovery, and spirit discovery, truly. And I realized, all the way at this point, a little bit now, that I did a lot of spirit work, and truthfully, it was me getting like more accustomed to spirits and stuff like that. And let me not hop ahead, but I had that's when I started really getting into spirituality. After I did, I allowed myself to be a channel for Sophia. Um, that's when I started really getting into spirituality, learning more and more about the left hand path. And yeah, I just kept going left, 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 left. And then, after a long time of going left and so many experiences, too many experiences to count, too many experiences to recount and talk about. But pretty much you just know that synchronicities and me talking about something and then somebody else talking about it, me watching a video and then somebody else talking about it, me watching a video and then they're talking about what I've been thinking about or contemplating for a while, me contemplating some things, and then somewhere in the world it starts happening. Um, Me actually creating new systems for people to, go with. Like spirituality, it was popping, but I kind of like use my mind as a conduit to, further it and make it like universal. So it's like connected to everybody, and they even try to say religion is spirituality, and that's not really true because religion is more like you're in the fishbowl. Spirituality is like you're in the ocean freely as an independent agent, as a sovereign agent, as a sovereign being. Let me not say agent. And so, yeah, after all the experiences and learning and all that, I had actually disconnected myself from Sophia for a while, just to be out here by myself and actually, you know, work with and talk to other spirits. And eventually now I'm back here. Well, not back here, but I'm forward here to this point, and Sophia's back with me, and I have my, my heart, my crown, and my soul. And those are the three things that I rock with. And so it's like the three pure ones, the three wise men that came and met Jesus. And the reason it's three is because, like, if you go more over three, like, then it starts getting convoluted. Then you start sounding crazy to people. Then you start getting more and more isolated, and to left field, because you're just all the way out there with all of yourself, acting like it's different people. But with three, you can just keep it, you know, you keep it trinary, the Trinity, and you're able to, like, keep your stuff balanced and aligned. And so I'm back with Sophia now. She's she's serious Sophia. She's the wolf star, not the dog star. And so she got me flowing out here, meeting new people, meeting old people that are new now because it's a new me. And yeah, life is pretty great right now. But I realize that, all the time I'm usually going either up or down. And so right now I'm on the upswing. And so, the highest highs, but lowest lows, as it goes. So, yeah, really now I'm just learning that, the spirit work isn't what's needed because you're always connected to spirit at the top. And then, like, what's actually needed is just going through the shadows and realizing your soul fully through your through your five matrix, through your 0 point, your heart. You know what I'm saying? And just intertwining your spirit and your soul together, continuously in whatever spiritual nature you're in. Because I actually noticed the other day that two people I know that I go up and down like this, and then one person I know goes left and right like that, because she's emotional or like logical or collective and stuff like that. And then there's another guy that I know, he goes like this. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like looking at it, and I was like, dang, I wonder if everyone's spiritual nature is like either these three or more. And I don't really, I seen that. Like, I've been able to see people's natures now. Like, people been trying to play me and stuff, and like I could see it now. Like, so before they've been doing it and I'll just let it go, I wouldn't care. But now I can see it, and I'm like, no, that's not how this is about to go. You're not about to disrespect me because I don't disrespect you. And so, I had to slightly press a few people and just let them know what it is. And so just flowing still now. And pretty much throughout the awakening and my awakening stuff, I just learned that there's always going to be times where you're in a new space. There's always going to be time where you're learning something new. There's always going to be times where you're not actually feeling like you want to be in your regular state of being. But the truth is, everything is a plus down here. Everything's a plus, truthfully. And the only time that it's not a plus is if you get caught too caught up in your natures and your lowly animal natures. And you start being animalistic. You just start being a body. You start forgetting that you're more than that. You're an infinite being. You never been born, you never been created, but you start forgetting that stuff and you start falling asleep. And there's nothing wrong with that either, because those sleepers are really just the stagnant nodes of this whole network. You know what I'm saying? They're the true steel nodes. But then it's like, in their eyes, we're the steel nodes, the people that are in between, the people that don't actually, like, when you ask them what they're doing, they're like, just chilling, because, how you gonna explain to them that you've been expanding, contracting, elevating, descending, up and down Jacob's ladder, continuously to gain more and more wisdom, bring more and more souls to their spirit, to this true spirit, and not some, counterfeit spirit that just wants people to stay down here and continuously build up, hell, and build up and be demons, and even the sense that people are out here thinking that God is the light, God is the way, and man, it's a funny world for real. But I'm just gonna keep laughing, keep living, you know what I'm saying? Keep contemplating, and keep doing what I gotta do as a shaman, as a motivational speaker, as an artist, as a soul, all that stuff, man. And also, my artist name, all the names I'm gonna be going by is gonna they're consolidated into one name, Michael Soul. That's what I'm gonna be going by. That's what you can call me. Just might as well go with my real name. I will use my last name, but that's not really my real name. Like, my first name is really the essence, the essence of me. So, yeah, guys, I know for sure this is, giving you a overlook, a good look into, the awakening process and how it's just so random. You know what I'm saying? Like you can end up being over here, but you'll end up back over there, and then realizing that you needed to take that wisdom from over there and bring it over here, and realizing that that space is the same as this space over here, but it's just through the wisdom you have you know found a new way, and new way in the cycle. So wholeness and blissful vibrations. Love you all, guys. But I'm out of here. About to go tee up tonight. About to go have some fun. You guys stay whole out here.